Welcome back. Today we're speaking with Jordan McGee and Addison Reed, leaders of Missouri State University's student body. Thanks for joining us.
Thank
Absolutely.
What are your guys' plans for the university this year?
So one of the big things that we're hoping to accomplish and really get started is a discussion about sexual assault on our campus and ways in which we can combat this horrible thing. It's something that is affecting colleges across the country, and it's something that we feel we need to take a stand against now. And we understand that this is not going to be a process that will happen within our term, and it's something that's going to take many years to change, but we're hoping to start the conversation now.
Mm-hmm. And we ran on a platform of reaching out and connecting with students, so I think a lot of frustrations from students stem from not knowing what's going on in the university or they're unclear of things. So we just like to clear things up and speak with a bunch of people and have representatives in our Senate just represent other organizations. So hopefully they can relay back to their organizations what we're doing and they'll get more clear and understand.
Okay. And what do you see as your biggest challenges this year?
Well, it's always hard to try to reach the whole entire student body. Obviously, we always focus on like GP classes and freshmen coming in, but transfer students are really hard to get to because sometimes they just go to school to go to class and they leave. So we're just trying to grasp a wider range of students and student opinion, and that's probably the challenge every single year, but we're facing it as well. So just coming up with creative ways to deal with that.
Yeah, I think student apathy is a big problem that every year they try to fix. Getting students excited about being at Missouri State, and we've got so many great things going for us. It is a great time to be a Bear, and so we're trying to really ramp up students' excitement and getting them involved in varying types of activities, whether it be athletics or whether it be an organization that they're passionate about. We just want students to be involved and to be excited about being at Missouri State.
Cool. Do you guys agree with how the money is being spent here on campus?
The fees and everything?
Yeah.
Well, right now we have our research and development director, Adam Kaufman, under it. He's going to go over the fees and look over it. Basically, every department wants money, and it's kind of down to what students want the most. So in the upcoming years, I'm sure there will be a few more fees, but obviously it will be a student vote. The university would never have a fee that students didn't get to vote on because it is our money. But I think we also just want to make it clear to I think students don't know exactly where their money goes towards. And compared to other universities, we are very cheap in fees for students. So I know it's frustrating because money is a big deal, especially for us college kids right now. So, but just making it clear for them and know what they expect and everything.
Yeah, I think putting things in perspective to other universities is really big. When you just look at our university and say, oh my gosh, we're spending all this money on this or that, it can really paint a picture that we're wasting money or whatever it may seem. But I can tell you that each department that gets money from student fees utilizes it to the best of their ability. They each have their own process of how to utilize money the best. And when you put it in perspective of what other universities are spending, whether it be for tuition or for athletics or for books, whatever it may be, putting it in perspective and saying, yes, we do spend money, but to be such a great university, you're going to have to spend some money that goes towards students.
Okay. And what other areas do you guys think, besides athletics, needs money the most?
I think a big focus this year is kind of talking about and having discussions about Taylor Health and Wellness because it isn't at the right standard right now. We need it to be just so much bigger because so many faculty and students utilize it and it's just not enough space for them right now. So I think they're going to keep doing programs and kind of get students' opinion, and then I think in the next few years that might be an additional fee that we have.
Yeah, I went with a group of students and administrators over the summer to visit the University of Arkansas, and we toured their brand new health center, and it was a fantastic trip. We learned a lot and kind of gained an idea of where we want to go with our health center. It is utilized to its max at this point, and so we're looking into ways in which we can fund some renovations and hopefully build it and make it better.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay, well, let's go ahead and cut to the elephant in the room. Recently, there was silent protesters on campus who were protesting the way that African Americans are treated by police officers. And during that protest, they were met with students and people on campus shouting vulgar language and racial slurs at them. Do you think that this represents the student body mindset as a whole?
I think that what was said to these protesters was absolutely horrendous, and it should never happen at this university. Going to the different talks that they've had before and since the protest, we've gotten a real sense that a lot of students feel that they are unsafe on campus, which is unacceptable. Every student on campus should feel safe, and if they're not, then we're doing something wrong. And so we need to take a better look at how students are interacting with other students, and I think that's definitely on students themselves. You know, we need to stand up for each other and let each other know that if we hear something like that on campus, that we need to shut it down immediately and say, hey, being prejudiced and being racist is wrong, and I never want you to say that again.
Okay. And else can we make this better? What are you guys going to do? What can we do as a student body or as a whole to make this better?
There's been several discussions. The Speak Up event was hosted after the Homecoming Blackout event. So I think just getting students to go to those, that means a lot to the protesters and people who are heavily involved in this. And just increasing dialogue on campus. I know it's an awkward topic to talk about because people don't want to step on people's toes or offend anyone, but I think it's an important topic to talk about, and just based off discussion, see where the need is and just work from there.
And one of our 3 pillars here at Missouri State is cultural competence. After everything that happened with the protests, it seems like we haven't been really representing that as well as we should. So what can we do to make that better?
Yeah, I definitely think that all 3 pillars of the public affairs mission are something that we should strive for, not necessarily something that we can always attain. And so I definitely think that education is huge. Obviously at a university, we need to have these conversations in the classroom. We have a lot of students who come from non-diverse places, and so they've never had these discussions, and they've never been able to interact with these kind of situations. And so being able to talk about it with fellow students, with faculty, with staff members is really important. And I definitely think that having these open dialogues, the big events that we've been having, as well as personal interactions and discussions, is really important.
Okay. And other than in person and on campus, these racial slurs and vulgar language has been spread all through social media on all different forms. What can we do to stop that?
You know, like I said, I think it's definitely on us students. I think we got to stick up for each other, and if we see something on social media that we feel is wrong, then, you know, comment on it and say, you know, we don't want this to happen, and it's not right, and we're all equal, and I think that, you know, we still got a long way to go, but we've got to move in the right direction.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Coming up, Missouri State alum Drew Adkins is on the hot seat to discuss his views on immigration reform and what actions the government should take to resolve the problem. Don't go away. This is Ozarks News Journal.